All right. Welcome back, folks, to the FF Face Off. This is brought to you, of course, by the Face Off Sports Network. We're coming at you with a little bit of an early week 4 start sit show. I can never say that too fast, so I don't slip. But we do have a game coming up in Dublin this morning at 9:30. So if you have any questions in regards to that, we've got answers or anything else you need. My name is Michael Hopp. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by Tyler, who could be followed at T Farmer _34. I just started my Red Bull. Tyler, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. Living the dream. And then we got Coach, of course, who could be followed at Coach Z Mac. Coach, how's it going, sir? You're doing good.
Good.
There he is.
Ready
All right, there he
football.
is.
Let's do it.
Yes. Amen. All right. We do have some questions in here early. I'll scroll up. I'll get to them. As always, if you guys aren't, some of you guys might be new, but if you send in a super chat, you cut the line in questions. We're going to try and get to as many as we can. It does get piled up, but so we'll help you guys out. But you can send in a super chat. You do cut the line, and we appreciate it immensely. Lastly, feel free to hit the like button because that also helps us out. But all right, let's get into this. Jeff Marks was one of the first people in here. He said, Good morning, sir. Pick one full point per reception, Ricky Pearsall, Travis Etienne, or Calvin Ridley. I'm going to answer first. I don't really care if it's a homer pick. I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall because it is a PPR league. We got Brock Purdy coming back for San Francisco, going up against the Jaguars. I do think it's a nice opportunity for Pearsall. So, again, not a guy who's going to win you your week per se, but somebody who could be very solid there, and at least I feel have a better week than those two. Coach, what says you in regards to this?
Yeah, I'm a Pearsall guy all the way. Ridley's fading a little bit to AO Manor, somewhat in Tennessee. With Purdy back, I'm Pearsall easily here.
Tyler, are we going to make it a clean sweep or what?
I can make it a clean sweep. However, I do want to point out that ETN is a very good play. He is the running back 10 on the year so far. In PPR, he's averaging 15.7 points per game. That's according to Sleeper's info. So, actually, you know what? No, I'll switch it up. I won't make it a clean sweep. I'll go ETN. Let's just see.
I don't hate ETN call.
With Purdy being back, that you would think that would lend itself to some better efficiency for the 49ers offense. However, they said Juwan, I think, was still going to play, but he's probably limited due to his injuries. You still don't have Kittle. Obviously, you have McCaffrey, and if you get Purdy back, that'll be interesting, but I'd probably just take ETN.
All right. David coming in here saying, Good morning, Drake May or Caleb Williams. I'll answer this quickly. I have Caleb Williams ranked one spot ahead of Drake May this week. So Caleb is where I'm going. Coach, you are the Bears man. So what says you here? Is Coach frozen? He might be frozen. I don't know.
He might
Let's
be.
go to Tyler. Tyler?
Oh man, this is tough. So I know that Caleb Williams looked great last week. We do have to keep in mind though who he was playing against.
Sure, but that I believe that was his second week of 20 or more points.
Yeah, I know, but I'm afraid what's going to happen is we're going to get people that are really stuck on, we're going to get another last week. Like it was a Caleb Williams breakout and then be disappointed by that. And where I see the Panthers, they held the Falcons to 0 points to a shutout and then scored 30 on them. I don't see that happening. Plus, I think Drake May has a little bit more of a run floor. So I'd probably go Drake May.
Okay. I'm going to stick Caleb. I don't hate the Drake May call. Again, I have them ranked back to back for a reason. So I'm okay with that. And yeah, I will just say really quickly, now that has to be discussed. I think the holding them to 0 points last week had more to do with the Falcons continuing to step on their own, you know what. But Coach, you are back. I picked Caleb over Drake. Tyler picked Drake over Caleb. What says you?
Yeah, I'd take Caleb. I do think some of last week was Ben Johnson, to be honest, and the poorest Cowboys secondary, especially. But I do think there is a world. Caleb has improved. If you just look at his first 3 games this year compared to his first 3 games last year, there is some improvement there. So I definitely feel better about that. And the Raiders just aren't very good. Now, we are going to have an undrafted right tackle trying to block Max Crosby today, so there is that issue. But I still like Caleb Williams' potential better than Drake Mays.
All right. We'll go over to Jeff here quick. Flex Jordan Mason or Cam Scatapoo, full point per reception. My starters are CMC and James Cook. Your starters are very pretty, sir. I would be flexing Jordan Mason here. I do love me some Scatapoo, just like everybody else in America. But yeah, I'll go Jordan Mason here. Coach, I'll go to you, and then Tyler, go to you, and then we'll move it on. Coach, what says you?
Yeah, I'm Jordan Mason. I'm Jordan Mason first over Scatapoo. I do like Scatapoo. Don't love his matchup this week, though, but I like him as the season moves on. I got Jordan Mason first today.
Yeah. Tyler?
Yeah, I'll make this one a clean sweep. I'm going Jordan Mason.
Yeah, boy. Let me see here. Simon coming in. Good morning, Simon. Pick one RB and one tight end. Gainwell or Trevion Henderson. Again, we do have the early game starting at 9:30. Steelers and Vikings. And then the tight end question is Fannin or Gadsden, both full point per reception. All right, I'll go quickly here. I'll say I'm going to go Trevion only because of watching the numerous fumbles from New England last week. I'd have to hope and pray that sent a message to the offensive minds over there in New England that maybe, hey, let's give Trevion some more work. I'll go Trevion here. Tight end for me, I'm going to go Gadsden on this one. I liked what he put out there last week. I know Fannon's getting a lot of targets, but I'll go Gadsden here. Tyler, this time I'll go to you, and then we'll flip it over to Coach. What says you on these two?
So I wanted to look back to last week. So Trevion led the team in rushing attempts last week. Maybe that was due to the fumbles. So he had 11 carries. He only had 28 yards, and then caught all 3 of his targets for 19. So it's kind of tough. Obviously, Trevion has the name. That's who we really want to play just based off of his capital. But, man, with Jalen Warren being out, I could just easily see a world where Gainwell gets really involved. It's definitely a tough start. I'll skip to the tight ends. I have Fannin over Gadsden this week. I just want to see what Gadsden does for another week before I just plug him and play him. I know Disley is out, which is why he got the opportunity last week. And there was a lot of good things said throughout the week, but I want to see another week of it before I throw him into a lineup. As far as the running backs go, I'll still stick with Trevion, but that's a very close call. I've got a feeling I know where Coach is going, though. Coach, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gainwell. He's a guy Tomlin's already has spoke highly of all year, and he's used him and depended on him already. He doesn't speak very highly of Caleb Johnson. I don't know what's going on there. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Trey Sermon got more carries than Caleb Johnson. That wouldn't completely shock me, to be honest. So I'm gonna go Gainwell, and then I'm gonna go Gadsden. I really like Gadsden, especially after what he looked like last week. Me and Tyler especially like Gadsden coming into the year, and then I just think he's just going to continue to ascend, and Disley may be an afterthought eventually.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that hard to oversit him. Disley. It's not exactly destroying the depth chart. We do have a super chat. Then we'll get to Jared's question. Vic coming in here. $4.99 super chat. Thank you, kind sir. Need help with Jalen Warren out. I need 2 Gainwell, Jamison Williams, Jennings, and Shaheed. You know what, Tyler? I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to make you go first on this one.
That's fine. It's actually relatively easy for me. I'm going Gainwell
Yeah.
and JMO. While I think Jennings could be a good play, the only issue is we mentioned it earlier. He still could be limited on work due to his injuries. I don't think he practiced all week. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Hoff. But
Yeah, kind of on and off.
yeah. So, I mean, I'm not really throwing Jennings out there if I don't have to. Shaheed has been not involved, really. They've been targeting Chris Olave a lot this year. So I think both of those two are kind of low end for me. So I'll take Gainwell and JMO.
Coach, what do you got there?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. JMO and Gainwell. I think I like Shaheed a lot. I don't like him today in Buffalo. So yeah, I'm Gainwell and JMO.
Yeah, I wanted to make a case for Jennings, but really over Jamison Williams, I really can't. So especially with what Tyler was mentioning about, missing practice, the uncertainty there. So yeah, let's work smart, not hard here. Let's go Gainwell and let's go Jamison Williams. But Vic, we appreciate the super chat, of course. Let me go back up here to where was Jared? Jared, there you are, Jared. Good morning, guys. Need one flex PPR. DK Metcalf, who again is playing soon. Jalen Waddle, Henderson, Golden, or Hunt. I don't know about you guys. I know you guys love yourselves some rookies. I want it to be a Matthew Golden week so bad, but I just can't rely on it. Coach, if you got to pick one here to flex PPR, where are you leaning?
Yeah, and there's no doubt, man. This is a tough one. I'm not touching any Packers wide receivers right now.
But I want to so bad.
I would take DK for the floor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm
going to take DK for the floor. He's just got the highest floor of the group.
Tyler, what do you got, man?
So I was trying to look. So DK is obviously your best play in terms of like best player on the field. That's who I think we would all agree you'd probably start. I do like Golden, especially against the Cowboys this week. And so I'll give you kind of two options. If you want to sit it and forget it and play DK, I don't think you go wrong there. That's fine. I do, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Hunt like the Chiefs and Ravens game a 4:00 game? Am I wrong?
That is, yes.
That?
Yeah.
So the thing is too, is if you always want more time, you got two options to flex. You could either you could have both Hunt and Golden available this afternoon if you see what you need. If you need the upside, you go with Golden. If you need stability, you go with Kareem Hunt. So you've got two options there. I think probably your best bet is taking DK because Aaron Rodgers has been looking his way a lot early this year. So I would probably go with DK, but you have that option if you need it later.
All right. There we go. All right. We do have some more super chats. We'll get in there. I will go with Coach here. I'm gonna go. I like Tyler's philosophy. I mentioned that a lot last week when I was on here with Matt. That sort of bit waiting till 4:00, but I will go DK here for the floor. Just God damn it! Just one of these wide receivers got to hit eventually, especially with the matchup for Green Bay going up against the Cowboys. Tyler Sperry coming in with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Jordan Mason or Kyron Williams. Listen, I am the ultimate Kyron Williams truther, always and forever, writing it on my Trapper Keeper. I'm going Kyron Williams here. The usage is still there. He's my guy. Yeah, and I also it's not a huge difference, but I like the matchup a little bit more. So I'm going to go Kyron Williams here. Tyler, I'll go to you, then Coach, and then we'll get to the next super chat. We got three more.
Yeah.
Two more.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going Kyron.
Hey.
I want that as the over under. I believe it's the highest on the week against my Colts. So we'll see how that goes. But I want pieces of that game if I can get it. So I'll take Kyron.
Coach, what says you, sir?
Yep, I want Kyron. I want Kyron here too. I want Kyron. Give me Kyron all day long here. I'm right with Hoff. I'm a Kyron truther. I'm not shying away from that.
Smart man. I always knew I liked you. Next super chat we got is Daniel Russell coming in $1.99. Offered Josh Jacobs for Bucky Irving PPR. So I guess he's just asking if
Just
that's
a
a good
one for
move.
one swap.
Just a 1-for-1 swap. I mean, I don't hate it. I would personally rather have Josh Jacobs, but I mean, this seems like a lateral movement. No, can anybody make a case that it's not?
No, not really. I mean, the only way that I think you make it not a lateral move is if you think Rashad White is still super involved, which I mean he's decently involved, but the thing is none of the backs behind Josh Jacobs can stay healthy, so that maybe that's what it is. I'd probably rather just have Josh Jacobs, but the thing is if you're making a lateral move, is that really helping your team out? That's the issue.
Might just
Usually
be a player preference,
Yeah, exactly. So I think this week, I think Josh Jacobs has the better matchup than Bucky because they play Tampa Bay plays the Eagles. So I do believe he probably has a better week this week.
Coach, what do you got here?
Yeah, I think long term, if this was dynasty, I'd definitely have Bucky Irving, but in redraft the rest of the year, I like Josh Jacobs.
All right, there we go. So we got another super chat coming in, Daniel. We appreciate it, of course. We got a tight end super chat coming in here. This one's coming in from Fredo, of course, as always, good friend of the show. $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Hunter Henry or Brock Bowers this week? I know Hunter Henry put on a show last week, but I'm still going Brock Bowers here. It's closer than it would have been before last week. That's what I can compliment Henry with. But give me Bowers. Coach, what do you got?
Well, Henry's got a good matchup against the Panthers today, but I'm with you there. I can't go away from Brock Bowers. I mean, he has struggled from last year to now. There's no doubt. What we've seen so far is a little bit down from what we had all hoped, but he's still better than Hunter Henry. I mean, ultimately, so I'm still going to go Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, same. It's a clean sweep. I just want to point out Hunter Henry's had these weeks before where he'll come out and he'll catch a touchdown or two and then just completely disappear for a few weeks. So Brock Bowers gives you the same upside as Hunter Henry does every week. You just play Brock Bowers.
All right. And we got Alan coming in here. I don't know if he sent in. I'll have to take a look if he sent in an actual question. But he did just send in a $1.99 super chat with a little beer pong table, looks like. A little early in the morning for that, even though you could probably talk me into it. But yeah. So yeah, if we find your question there, Alan, we will answer it most certainly. But thank you for the super chat. Fredo coming in with one more super chat, then we'll get back to the questions. Actually, unless we have more super chats, but DK Metcalf or Ricky Pearsall, start, sit. If this is the PPR league, Fredo, I'm going Pearsall. If it's half point, I might lean a little bit more towards DK Metcalf only because I feel like there's more touchdown upside with DK than there would be with Pearsall. So if it's full point, Pearsall. If it's half or standard, which is a soft point of fantasy football, go DK. Coach, what would you roll with here? Yeah. I know you picked DK with me earlier, but what are you doing?
Yeah, Pearsall wasn't on that list though. I'm going Pearsall. I'm a Pearsall truther also, and he definitely has more potential for a much bigger day, in my opinion, than DK.
And that wouldn't matter to you if it was half point. You'd still go Pearsall.
I'm going Pearsall either way.
All right, cool. Tyler, what do you got, Tyler?
I think we're going to lean Pearsall here. I agree with what you're saying, Hoff, in terms of DK having the higher upside in a touchdown. I like, especially if Purdy's coming back, I like the offense a little bit better. And I think their matchup against Jacksonville is better than probably going up against the Vikings today. I did also find a question from Alan. I don't know if this is the one regarding his super chat. He said you picked 2 out of the 3. So you got Gainwell, Waddle, or Shakir.
And also bear down, baby. It's got to get coach excited.
Yeah, coach, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, since you're the Bears guy and he said bear down, you can answer this one first.
I'll take Shakir and Gainwell here. Shakir's got a great matchup against the Saints. Gainwell, we've talked about, multiple times. Waddle and the Dolphins terrify me. So I'm going Shakir and Gainwell.
Okay. Tyler, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm going the same. I don't like the Dolphins matchup against the Jets, so I'll take Shakir and Gainwell.
I'm starting to think that I hate Jalen Waddle because I never pick him whenever his questions are asked, and I'm not picking him again. I don't know.
Well, I think part of that comes from the fact that he goes out of the game like 16 times a game.
He does
every
get injured
week
quite a bit. Yeah,
So-
I would go Gainwell and Shakir, but I do hope for the Dolphin fans out there. I do hope things get better. I will say nothing gets me more excited than a super chat on kickers. Yeah.
there you go.
From Fredo, Brandon Aubrey, or Chase McLaughlin. I've got Brandon Aubrey ranked higher this week. I've got him ranked higher for the season. He's one of a few kickers, actually. If I'm pulling this up, let me see this here. He's one of 7 kickers with multiple games of 10 or more points. I'm going Brandon Aubrey here. Against the Packers, if they have any trouble scoring touchdowns, they are going to kick some field goals. So, yeah, give me Brandon Aubrey. I know I'm the resident kicker guy here. Do you guys have any thoughts, or should I move on?
I'm good with sticking with Aubrey.
You're good with that? Coach is good with that. Yep. All right.
Yeah, I'm great with that.
Okay. Well, we all know there's at least one person in this room that respects kickers, at least. There's a thoughtful answer from me. Greg coming in here with a super chat, $1.99. Appreciate it, good sir. He got offered Ladd McConkey, and it's a FAAB question, so that's cool. He got offered Ladd McConkey and $52 in FAAB for Brian Thomas. Yes or no? Coach, I see you nodding. Are you going with it?
Oh man, this is a hard one. I really think I'm gonna go Brian Thomas because he's clearly the best receiver on his team, and I think over the course of the year he's gonna continue to improve. And Ladd with QJ and Keenan Allen, that offense seems to have changed a little bit in general, so that concerns me for Ladd and what everybody's expectations were for Ladd. And I just don't think the $52 worth of FAAB matters to me.
Okay, Tyler, what do you got, man?
I kind of agree there. I guess it would depend on what your waiver situation looks like. If your waivers, like if they have a bunch of good names on them and you could pick them up, you could just go outbid everybody, sure. But I'm probably sticking with Brian Thomas. He's still been involved. He can't catch it for whatever reason right now. So Coach kind of laid out the Charger situation great. So yeah, give me Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
And what is the $52 worth of FAAB out of, right? Is it 52 out of 100 or is it 52 out of 1,000? That could matter a little bit too.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I would go Brian Thomas here as well. I know Kronster would be pissed to hear this clean sweep, but I do think Brian Thomas, although he has, I'll say this, he's gotten targets. He's played a little bit soft, but I do think better days are ahead for him.
A lot of it soft, though.
Yeah, a lot of alligator arms. So let's hope he extends those arms. That's why back in the day they had us catch in front of the goalpost with the arms out. But let's hope he gets things right. All right. Let's go to Alfredo here coming in with $1.99 super chat. Then we're gonna get back to the regular questions. We had a slew of super chats, so I'm probably gonna go towards the bottom of questions. If you did ask a question, if you're still here, if we didn't get to you, just fire it in there, and we'll just start getting to those. But Alfredo does want to know, he's got a flex. We just had a Brian Thomas question in terms of a trade. Now we got one here for this week. Brian Thomas or Chase Brown, full point per reception. These are two players who have been disappointing. And, I talked about Brian Thomas getting a lot of targets. Chase Brown is up there in terms of rush attempts among running backs. If I'm pulling this up in terms of attempts here, Chase Brown is what? He's 11th right now. Yeah, 21, 16, 10. But yeah, Tyler, I'll go to you first. BTJ or Chase Brown, who are you flexing in a full point per reception?
I'm going to stick with the wide receiver. I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I actually like the Jags offense a little bit more. As of right now, the Bengals offense just looks horrendous. So Plus, I think I like the matchup against the 49ers a lot better than I like them, the Bengals going against Denver. So just give me BTJ and I'll take the full point, every time he catches it, whatever limited amount that is.
Good, Coach. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, Chase Brown last week had 10 carries for 3 yards, man. Chase Brown had 10 carries for 3 yards last week. That's just unbelievable to me, too. I mean, that offense has been such a disaster. I don't necessarily even think it's not Chase Brown. It's just the offense. Yeah, and Brian Thomas Jr. has also been somewhat of a victim of very mediocre to bad quarterback play as well. So I think I'm going to go BTJ here.
I'm going to go Chase Brown slightly. Call me a homer if you want, but Diamador Lenore, I think he's going to give BTJ some problems, in my opinion. I think either way, judging by the ultimate reactions that you're getting from us, this is not a good one either way. It's like a pick your poison spot, at least in my opinion. But I think I go Chase Brown slightly over BTJ. I will not be shocked if, BTJ outscores him. But, we've seen Diamador shut down the Seahawks.
Coming into the season, we were doing cartwheels.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, now we're
coming into the season, you're doing cartwheels for those guys.
Woo. Now we're doing cartwheels and breaking our noses. So, but yeah. All right. So, Mediator's coming in there, of course, selfishly, but we appreciate that. $1.99. Hit that like button. All right. Do we have more super chats? We might have one more.
I think you got one more, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We got two more. Black Rain 7920 $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Drake May or Gino against my team. Sorry, defense. Oh boy. Okay. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. You don't got to worry. You could feel guilty about asking the question, but I would still go Drake May over Geno Smith this week. I like the matchup better for Drake May this week. So I think he's going to have his third 20-point game of his career coming up today. So I'll go Drake May. Coach, what do you got here? Drake May against the Panthers or Geno against your Bears?
I feel your pain there, Black Rain, defensively. And we got a lot of people inactive on top of that, but we are getting Kyler Gordon back. That will definitely help the secondary. So, yeah, I'm going to go Drake May here too. The Bears were at least competent enough to slow down the Cowboy offense a little bit last week. Thankfully, they didn't keep running the football, or it could have gotten worse. Yeah, I think Drake May like his matchup. Don't love Geno right now.
Tyler, what's up, man? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going Drake May. Let's make it a clean sweep. You guys have kind of laid out the defensive stuff against the Bears, and while Geno can look good, he can also look bad too. We've seen that both this year, so I'll take Drake May.
All right, and we got a Eric coming in here with a $4.99 super chat. Panic, he says. Deep league, Gainwell or Addison in half point. We'll get to that first before the tight end. Coach, I'll let you take first crack at this. What do you got here? Gainwell or Addison half point?
I'm Gainwell still. Like, Gainwell is especially good out of the backfield. Addison, who even knows? Really, that's kind of where I'm at there. And I realize Gainwell's sort of the same. But I do like Gainwell's usage out of the backfield over the course of the first 3 games.
Tyler, what do you got there, man?
Yeah, I'm going Gainwell as well. I know it's Addison's first game back, but he's still playing with Carson Wentz. So I'm going with Gainwell.
I'm actually going to go Addison here. I'm going to go Addison here for the upside. I think the floor is there more so for Gainwell. Don't get me wrong. But, we've seen Addison come back from an injury before in the past and put up around 22 points last year. Not to say we're going to get 22 points from the guy, but I don't know. I feel like we could see a reoccurring theme where he makes his way back and goes off a little bit, so to speak, or at least outscores Gainwell. So I'll go Addison here, but we got 2 for Gainwell, 1 for Addison. The other side of that question, I assume, is half point as well. Fannin or Strange? I will go. I'm going to go Brenton Strange here, my guy. going up against my 49ers. So, tough emotional spot for me. But I will say I think it's close between the two guys. I think both will get their targets. But, yeah, I'll go Brenton Strange to edge out Harold Fannin. Tyler, I'll go to you first, then Coach.
Yeah, I actually have Brenton Strange a tier above Fannin this week. That's not necessarily saying I don't believe in either of the two. I just think Njoku and Fannin kind of vulture each other there. They've had almost identical targets.
Sure.
So far it's like 1 week. Njoku will lead, the next week Fannin leads. So for me, I'm just going to let them battle that out and figure it out. I'll take Strange here because he's been involved so far. So.
Coach, good sir, what says you?
Yeah, the reason I like Strange coming into the season, probably the same as Hoff, is that historically T-Law throws the ball to tight ends a lot, and like I really like Strange because he's going to get 6 or 7 targets. You can count on that. Trevor Lawrence is going to feed him the football every chance he gets, and there's going to be opportunity there. So I'm Strange for sure here.
Yeah, it was that, and it was also Liam Cohen's history of throwing to tight ends as well, which only made me like him more. But you're all right about T-Law throwing the ball to tight end. That was also part of my love for Brenton Strange, which is still there. We do have another super chat. Eventually, we'll be done with super chats. But Fredo coming in. By the way, that is not a complaint. Fredo coming in with $1.99 super chat. Williams or Judkins for my RB2. Gibbs is my RB1. So Javonte Williams or Quentin Judkins.
Is that Javonte or is it Kyron?
Well, if it's Kyron, all right. Well, let's answer in terms of
answer it both ways.
If it's Kyron, I'm going Kyron. That's to me, that's not even a question. I mean, would anybody want to make a case for Javonte over Kyron? If that was his question?
Javonte over Kyron, I wouldn't do. Not this week. I mean, Javonte's looked great so far.
No. I'm saying if his question was Kyron Williams or Judkins, because we're figuring out which Williams it was.
Oh, got you. No, I mean, I'm playing Kyron because we talked about the matchup earlier. He's highest over under. I want pieces of that game. If it's Javonte, I'm not playing Javonte this week because of the Green Bay matchup. So I would play Judkins there, but that's just me.
Coach, what do you got here? I assume if it's Kyron, you'd still go Kyron, and if it's Javonte,
yeah, if it's Kyron, I'm going Kyron. If it's Javonte or Judkins, if it's Javonte, I'm actually going to go Javonte over Judkins. I mean, I think it's a good problem to have. I like both these guys. I like both these guys now. I like both these guys going through the rest of the season. Javonte's look fantastic. Judkins' workload looks gigantic at the moment. To me, he's the best rookie running back of the bunch.
Oh, okay.
But still, I would actually go Javonte here.
I would go Javonte as well. I would
go Javonte.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, both the Lions and the Packers, at least in terms of half-point formats, they are pretty close to one another in terms of points allowed to the running back position, which is not much. But again, I'm looking at that Javonte Williams workload. I got to imagine maybe that even improves with no CeeDee Lamb. Who knows? I do think it's a Jake Ferguson week as well. But which Tyler, you put out that tight end video talking about that as well. I will go Javonte here over Judkins. So we got 2 for Javonte, 1 for Judkins, and we'll move it right along. We got 2 more super chats. Javon Bennett coming in with a $2 super chat. Another Judkins question: Quentin Judkins or Chase Brown, non-PPR, which I always have to follow up and say that is a soft point of fantasy football. Tell your league mates. Let's get some points per reception in there, please. Tyler, what are you going with here? Judkins or Chase Brown?
I'm going Judkins. Yeah. Coach is already smiling because he knew where I was probably going with that, but I'm going Judkins. We talked about the Bengals offense earlier. It's not looked great, so I'm gonna stick with Judkins there.
Coach?
Yep, me too. Judkins. Me too. Yeah. I don't think it's very close. Judkins is going to get the ball on goal line. Judkins is going to get tons of opportunity.
Yeah, clean sweep on this one. I will go Judkins as well. And then we'll go to another super chat here from Zooplanktons. Got it. Done. $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Tucker Craft, Lad McConkey, and Gainwell. Which two do I go with? I'll answer this one quick, then I'll kick it on over to Coach. I'm going to go Tucker Craft. Am I going to go Tucker Craft? I shouldn't answer this first.
It's a hard one.
Immediately regret this decision.
It is hard.
You know what? F it. No, you know what? I won't go Tucker Craft. I'll go Lad McConkey and I'll go Kenneth Gainwell here. But I will say to Tucker Craft's credit, he does make this question hard when usually a tight end wouldn't make this question hard. But I will go McConkey and I will go Gainwell here. I walked myself right into that one. Coach, what says you? What would you go with here?
I'm actually going to go Tucker Craft and Lad.
You son of a bitch.
Go to the best wide receiver Green Bay has, Tucker Craft.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
most
Coach,
dependable, or at least gets the most opportunity.
Yeah, Coach definitely pointed it out. He is the best wide receiver, quote unquote, that they have. And then Hoff said it great too. You know, usually tight ends don't make you think about this, but I'm going to actually go Tucker Craft and Lad as well.
All right, there you go. Let me see this now. I thought there was a news update, but it's something about if the Giants decide to trade Russell Wilson contract wise, who cares? All right, we are done with super chats, believe it or not. All right, guys, I'm just going to go to the bottom here. We'll just start rifling through questions. So if you ask the question, if we miss it, just fire it in. I know it's 9:12 now, but let's go here. Let's go to Iggy here. Which side do you prefer, McConkey and Warren? Oh, well, there's no Warren. Warren, well, okay, but it's a trade question. McConkey and Warren for Hall and Sutton. I would rather have the Hall and Sutton side. That's what I would go with. Coach, would you think differently, or?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the Hall and Sutton. I'm with you there.
Yeah. You want to make that a clean sweep, Tyler, and then we'll move it on?
Yep, I'll do it as long as it's redraft. I'm doing that.
All right. Blankton came back in and just followed up to his super chats. It is difficult when I have Trey McBride at tight end 1. Nobody wants to trade for Tucker Craft. Thank you, guys. No problem. Yeah, but that is a nice problem to have. You have some talented tight ends there. Let's go to Paul here. Paul wants to know, do I start BTJ, Chase Brown, Judkins, Pearsall, Scatterboo in my flex this week? I'm going Ricky Pearsall is what I'm going with. Again, I know America's sweetheart, Cam Scatterboo. I do love him. I will enjoy watching that Giant game, even though I've been groomed to hate the Giants my whole life. But I'm excited for that game. But no, I'm going to go Pearsall here. Tyler, let's go with you here. A lot of options here. Where are you going?
Yeah, I think I'm still sticking with Pearsall. It's between Pearsall and BTJ, and I think at least Pearsall has a quarterback that's going to get him the ball and he can catch it, whereas BTJ is struggling. So I'll take Pearsall.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm going to take Pearsall as well. I would have Scatterboo as my second option of this group, though, actually.
Okay. Yep. And then this one I think is interesting. Tron Forrest coming in. I think it makes it interesting because it's PPR. With Jalen Warren out, who should I play at flex? Gainwell, Bill Krosky, Merritt, or Wan'Dale Robinson? I'm going to say because it's PPR. I don't even care that it's Jackson Dart. I'm going to go Wan'Dale because it's PPR. If it was any other format, I'd probably go Bill Krosky, Merritt. Slightly over Gainwell, but I'm gonna say Wan'Dale. Okay, Wan'Dale for president. So there's Coach's answer. He doesn't even need to give a verbal response if you guys are watching, of course. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, we can take the targets with Wan'Dale. I don't necessarily like the matchup overall and it being Jackson Dart's first game, but we can go with that.
All right, let's get to our next one here. Tree hugging Hunter. All right, need 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes. All right. So Tet McMillan, which somewhere out there, Pete's hungover balls just tingled. Roma Dunze, Ricky Pearsall, BTJ, Darnell Mooney, Travis Etienne, Those are the wide. Okay, we'll just read the whole thing. Judkins, JCM, Swift,
Dang.
Tyler Warren. Well, Tyler Warren's out, so we don't got to worry about that. He's starting Ferguson, who we love, at tight end. This is a PPR question, so I will go first here while I let you guys digest this. It sounds like it needs 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes. So in terms of wide receivers, I'm going to go Pearsall here, and I'm going to go Roma Dunze. I like Caleb Williams this week. I think it's a Roma Dunze week. If I'm going running back, I'm going to go ETN, and I'm going to go Judkins. Yeah. So am I going to go with that in my flex? Yeah, I'm going to go Roman Pearsall as my wide receivers. Flex for sure is ETN. And yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go Judkins over Tet McMillan. It's like Tet's looked good, but like the fantasy numbers haven't necessarily been there. But he's looked good, in my opinion. I've watched more Panthers football than I'd like to admit. So yeah, I think that's where I'd go. Yeah. Coach, you're looking at this rather intently, so I'm going to assume you might have an answer. Then we do have a super chat. Tyler, we'll get your quick answer, and then we'll get to the super chat. But Coach, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, yeah, I like Pearsall and Rome. I'm with you there. I think those are the 2 clear wide receivers to me. I think I would go ETN and Judkins. I was having the same debate in my head. That's why I was looking at that you were having the Judkins Tet thing. That's tough. I think I would go ETN Judkins though.
All right, and then Tyler, I saw you nodding, so you're in agreement on the wide receivers. Are you in agreement on the 2 flex plays?
Yeah, I'm fine with the 2 flex plays. I do like Tet, but Christian Gonzalez, I'm pretty sure, is playing this week, so that's probably going to make that Panthers offense stumble a little bit. So I'll take ETN and Judkins as well.
All right. And Alfredo coming in here with another super chat. Thank you, kind sir. After Pete's post about expecting a dud from Hunter Henry, who would you start? Henry or Juwan Johnson? I tried reading 2 players' names at the same time. That doesn't work. It's full point per reception. Tyler, I'll go to you. Hunter Henry or Juwan Johnson this week?
So I have Juwan Johnson ranked higher this week. I think he's like my tight end 4 overall. He's just too involved. With that being said, it being full PPR too, I'm probably sticking with that. I like Henry's matchup a lot better. Obviously, the Saints are playing Buffalo, but I would probably just stick with Juwan and the floor that he gives you with all those targets.
Coach, what do you got here?
Yeah, man, it's tough. I actually, gosh, I am. I like the Henry matchup just too much. I think I would go Henry and then Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyler makes a great case in terms of the targets, and they have been there. Like we were joking earlier. Well, not really joking about Tucker Kraft being one of the best wide receivers. I mean, you talk about the usage that Juwan gets there in New Orleans. It's comparable. But I think I would go with Henry and the matchup here personally. And I get what Pete's saying about expecting a dud, but I think you'd be expecting a dud if you were expecting the huge game that he had last week. I just, I'd temper expectations on that, but he'll still have a good fantasy performance. So, yeah, let's go that way. And thank you for the super chat. We do have another one. This might be, we might be getting on a record for super chats here. Kane Royce coming in, $1.99 super chat. He needs to start 2. AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, which he spelled Tyreek Hill, or Jordan Mason. I'm just kidding. I won't. Yeah, I won't. Whatever. We're fine.
I wanted to hear you pronounce that one.
What, Jordan Mason? Fine. Jordan Mason. I'm gonna go AJ Brown, and I'm gonna go Jordan Mason. Just something is wrong with the Dolphins, man. And I mean, if whatever's not going wrong isn't there, I think they're a good offense. I think they it's just something's going on there, man. So AJ Brown, Jordan Mason is where I would lean. Are we doing clean sweep here, Coach? We'll go around the room.
We are. I think we are going to clean sweep this, but I will say the Dolphins' offense is going to level out. Like, it's not going to be like this all year long. I just don't think. I think they're going to end up being okay. I'll say that. They're at least going to be okay. They had a decent performance in Buffalo last week. I expect that to improve. But until it does, I'm going to go A.J. Brown and Jordan Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, clean sweep?
Yep, clean sweep.
Sweep. All right, there you go. Kane, we appreciate the super chat. Again, if you guys want to get in on a super chat, you can feel free to do so. You do cut the line. And yes, Jalen is out. Yes, Jalen out, Hoff. Yes, he is. That'd be. But all right, let's get to Iggy here. Oh, cute picture of a dog too. So we'll answer this one for sure. Well, he asked one earlier, so if we didn't get to it, we'll try and get to it at some point. But he said Hunter Henry or Jawan. We had that in the super chat. We said Hunter Henry is who we would go with. Which keeper do I keep? So this is kind of early for a keeper question, but Sly, Cam, Little, Pinheiro, or Fairbairn. Oh, all right. It's kicker. Which kicker do you keep? Is probably what he's saying. I don't think there's a real world in which you're gonna keep a kicker. I like Sly more this week. I think I like Fairbairn more for the rest of the season. Pinheiro, I will say, in his last the 2 weeks he's been on the team, he's been a top 10 kicker. But I think I would go Sly here, despite the Titans. And this what goes to show you, high scoring offense doesn't necessarily mean fantasy points, or low scoring offense, I should say. Sly is up there in terms of, field goal attempts and even some extra points attempts. He's up there as well. So I like Sly this week. I like Fairbairn more the rest of the season. So that's what I would go with there, Iggy. Appreciate the question. What else we got here? Wandell or Fannin? If it's PPR, it's Wandell. If it's half point, it's Wandell. If it's standard, does it change anything for either of you guys?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's standard, maybe.
Okay. Oh, all right. So maybe if it's standard, then maybe we're doing Wandell for vice president then instead. So whatever.
Yeah.
Let me see. So Zooplankton said, so now do I go Wandell or Tucker full PPR? Coach is going to put up a sign again.
Yeah.
Wandell.
Still.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
And he was answering that question. Bob Hope, my God, I thought you were dead, dude. He comes in, Myers, Adams, Ibuka, Sutton, PPR. Yeah, pick 2. I'm going Ibuka here. I'm still going to go Devontae Adams, even though I'm a little worried about the injury during the week. Sutton would be my honorable mention. I would not be shocked if all 3 of these guys produce, though, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a clear-cut dud here. Tyler, I'll go to you first. Who would you go with here?
Well, I can tell you I'm definitely playing Devontae Adams. I've mentioned it several times, the matchup. I'm not worried about the injury. I don't think they'd put him out there if he wasn't good to go. And then going back, I'm just trying to look. I know Ibuka plays the Eagles, and then the Broncos play the Bengals. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch up. I love Ibuka, but Baker's had some issues this week as far as like some bicep soreness, and he was on the injury report. So I'll take Sutton against the Bengals. I think that offense will try to get right Monday night. So I'll take Devontae and Sutton.
And Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to take Devontae and Sutton also. I was leaning Ibuka earlier in the week. Then, Godwin's going to play for sure today. This makes me a little bit uneasy because they're sort of similar in a sense to me. Evans being out does help Ibuka, obviously. But yeah, I'm going Adams and Sutton, I believe.
All right. Let's get to Javi, who, by the way, Javi's in our Discord. I should, if I can't, maybe one of you can pop the Discord link in the chat, so this way people can join our Discord if you want. There's, it's free. There's also some paid tiers, but it's free. You can come in, talk ball with us. We'll answer some questions, all that good stuff. Just trying to create a community there to everybody's talking ball, having a good time. But Javi comes in and says, I'm torn in between some guys and cannot decide. Ricky Pearsall or Drake London, Caleb or Herbert. This is half point per reception. He needs a win. 0-3 right now. That's not great, Bob. PPR
1.5 PPR.
But wait, 1.5. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, 1.5. 0.5 style. I'm gonna go Pearsall here, especially with that. Yeah, with the 1.5. Penix just has scared the hell out of me now after last week. So I'm gonna go Pearsall here. In terms of quarterback, I got to double check. I'll get back to that. Tyler, if you want to answer, because I got to double check my rankings there on the quarterback front, because I believe I had them close to one another. But Tyler, you go ahead here. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going. I'll go Pearsall over London just because we've seen it from Pearsall. I think that'll be fine. I'm going Justin Herbert against the Giants. So I know the matchup, obviously, with Caleb might be a little bit better. But that offense has looked too good for me to not throw Justin Herbert in there. So I will stick with the hot hand in the Chargers.
Coach, what says you on this one, sir?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Pearsall over London, although I do expect a bit of a London bounce back today, and just the Falcons in general, they won't be as bad as they were last week. London was a buy candidate for us on Wednesday. We talked about how it's a great time to go buy Drake London. So I do think he's going to, bounce back to a certain extent today. But I still go Pearsall, and I'm taking, Herbert over Caleb.
Yeah, no and well, I'm sorry. What, you had something else there? Were you good?
Mm-mm.
No, okay. Yeah, and there's a reason why I paused on quarterback, because I have them ranked back to back. I've got Justin Herbert at where are you, sir? At 5 this week. Caleb Williams is at 6. So yeah, I would go Justin Herbert. And Javi, good luck to you, buddy. Wishing you all the best here this week. We have 2 super chats. Alfredo coming in, $1.99. Flex McMillan, Pollard, or Juwan Johnson. Tyler, I'll go to you first, since I'm just going to deem you the new Juwan Johnson fan in the room. Where would you go here? Full point per reception, though. You got to pick one for flex.
Full points per reception. Honestly, this week I'm going to go with Ted McMillan. I do like Juwan Johnson a lot. But that matchup in Buffalo, I could easily see them either getting shut out or scoring less than 2 touchdowns. Whereas I think Tet and the Panthers could actually make the Pats game a little bit interesting. So I'll take Tet there.
Coach, what are you rolling with here, sir?
Yeah, I'm going Tet and just target share. 2 weeks ago, he got 10 targets. Last week, he got 8 targets. I'm going Tet. I think that game is going to be close too. Yeah, I'm going Tet.
I'm actually going to go Pollard here. When I'm looking at this, I mean, Pollard is 6th in running back attempts. The Texans aren't exactly great against running backs. They are sitting 9th in terms of points allowed last 2 weeks. And this is half point, by the way, that I'm going with, but they've allowed over 20 points to the position in each of the last 2 weeks. So I'm actually going to sneak Pollard in there. But if Ted outscores Pollard, am I going to be shocked? No, not at all. But I think I'm going to go Pollard here for the opportunity and for the opponent, slightly over McMillan. We do have Iggy with a super chat, and maybe this is what he was referencing earlier, I guess, when he was asking more of a question. But still the cute picture of a dog. We appreciate the super chat. Cam Scattaboo, America's Sweetheart, or Golden Tate. So do we want to take the bait on Golden? I said Golden Tate, Matthew Golden.
You sure did.
He's a legend. Luckily, you're not looking at Golden Tate, but Matthew Golden or Cam Scattaboo. I am going to go. Oh my God, this is so obnoxious. I'm going to go Cam Scattaboo, but I just want to speak to the obnoxiousness of the Russian roulette that is the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room, always and forever. They have a perfect matchup this week, but I've seen nothing to suggest that one guy is going to be the clear-cut target guy. So My hands are I got to go Cam Scatterboo here. I'm going Cam Scatterboo, but it pisses me off to do it. Coach, what says you here in terms of this question? If you want to include Golden Tate, because he might get a better target share than Matthew Golden.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm just like you here. Like, I'm gonna go scat and be pissed about it because Golden to me is really good, but who in the heck knows what's going on in Green Bay from week to week? This feels like one we could completely get wrong because Golden could have 6 catches and a touchdown, and we end up looking like idiots on this one because that's just the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, it also could be Dobbs get 10 catches and a touchdown. So who knows? So I'm going with scat on. I know he's going to get plenty of opportunity.
Yep.
Tyler, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm the same there. Look, I thought when you said Golden Tate, I thought you were making some kind of prophecy about Matthew Golden and how he was going to work out. I was like, okay. I was like, we can roll with it. And then come to find out it was just a name confusion. So, no, I'm going with scat. Sure, I could see Golden having a good week, but too many mouths to feed in Green Bay. I think Tucker Kraft has a good week too, a good bounce back week. So give me scat.
By the way, we appreciate all of the super chats. That's 19 super chats in the day. We might be coming up there on some kind of record. I'm just going to pop around here. Just keep firing the questions in. Sorry, guys, but we had so many super chats today that we're kind of bogged down with the questions. But Jacob coming in here. Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, 4 points per touchdown. This is another one. Once they announced yesterday that Justin Fields was back in the lineup, I've got Justin Herbert at 5. I've got Caleb Williams at 6. I've got Justin Fields at 7. I'm going to stick with Caleb Williams here, but I like both options this week. Obviously, a great matchup for Justin Fields, but yeah, give me Caleb Williams here. Tyler, I'll go to you. Then we'll go to Coach. Tyler, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'll stay with Caleb Williams. I mean, Fields, him being back, that's great, but I would say that the Bears offense has looked better, overall than that. So I think that Caleb Williams and Rome connections mean something special. We've been saying that all offseason. Coach was hammering the table that it was Rome as the wide receiver 1 instead of DJ Moore. And looked like we're right so far. So I'd stick with Caleb.
Yeah, and Coach?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Caleb also. Now, Fields, it does feel like a game with the Dolphins here where he has to play well, or it's, or you're really concerned about Fields after the last game he played was so bad. And if you can't play well against this Dolphins defense, I'm not sure anyone can play well. So there is that. But I like Caleb Williams. The Raiders defense is nothing magical. I like Ben Johnson. I like the trajectory there. So I'm gonna ride with Caleb.
Yeah, I was just taking a look. My nephew is helping my sister pick her team for Survivor. He's got the whole. You remember those little helmets back in the day? He's got all 32 of them. So she's got them on the coffee table, and he's picking out who's going to win this week. So we'll see how that goes. So to be continued. Shades coming in here. Shade 721, whatever that means, sir. It's all good. Rest of season, likely or Ertz? I'm going Ertz here. I know people want to wish Mark Andrews away, and I know he's given you reasons to in the first 2 weeks. Last week, of course, he played well. Just Mark Andrews isn't going away, and Mark Andrews will outscore likely by the end of the year. Listen, likely's time will come, but it likely won't be this year. So I'm going to go Zach Ertz. Does anybody disagree in the room?
Nope.
I'm with you.
Getting nopes. All right. Let's go to Jenny Whipple, Drake May or Daniel Jones. Also, Pat Mahomes or Jordan Love. Thanks for the help. Appreciate it, you guys. Coach, I'll go to you first on this one. Feel free to answer both Drake May or Daniel Jones. Also, Pat Mahomes or Jordan Love.
Drake May. Daniel Jones over Drake May. Like, I can't go against Daniel Jones in that matchup now. I can't wait to hear Tyler pick Daniel Jones also. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes over Jordan Love. Yeah, I'm doing that. No, wait, no, I'm not. Never mind. Scratch that. Packers have the Cowboys. I can't take. I'm taking Jordan Love there. Of course, the Chiefs are playing the Ravens. The Ravens defense has been about as bad as the Cowboys, believe it or not. So there is that. I'm gonna go Daniel Jones and Jordan Love. Jenny Whipple. That name takes me back to a guy named Mark Whipple that was coordinator for the Miami Hurricanes at one point. Just throwing it out there.
Maybe there's a relation. We don't know.
Fun fact.
There you go. Tyler, what says you, man? You picking Daniel Jones?
I'm going to. And I'm going to tell you something right now, because Coach, and if Matt's still in here, he was answering some chats earlier. They're going to be thrilled to hear this. If we win this game this week, there will be a Daniel Jones apology next Wednesday. So,
hey now,
I mean, I said week 5, but if he wins this week against the Rams, I'll give him his flowers early. So I'll take it.
All right, we do have another super chat coming in, but I will answer this quick, and I very much look forward to Wednesday's show. Then it makes me want to root for the Colts a little bit. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna go, but I'm actually gonna go Drake May here. I had Daniel Jones at 12 this week. The returning Justin Fields bumped him just outside my top 12 this week. I'm gonna go Drake May, and I am gonna go Jordan Love. But to Coach's point, I mean, Cowboys are allowing the most points to quarterbacks so far this season, but the Ravens are right behind them at 4th. So. I mean, so there is a reason to be asking this question. I'm going to go Jordan Love here. Just a matter of who the heck he throws it to, besides Tucker Kraft. We got our 20th super chat, so we'll get to that. And she's going to have to correct me because I always butcher her name every year, and I forgot. I'm going to go Alicia. No, it's Alicia. Alicia. Yes, there we go. Stick it with it. Final answer. Schrader or Prater? I love a good kicker question. I will answer that quick. I'm going Schrader over Prater this week. And by the way, a lot of people ask me, do you go Prater the rest of the season over certain kickers? No, because eventually Tyler Bass will be back. But no, I'm going Schrader over Prater this week. You said Judkins over Tet, and I assume that means, or in the previous question, still the same advice with Tet, Pearsall, Ibuka, Devonta Smith starting. Judkins and Godwin on the bench. So she's asking, do we go Judkins over Tet here? Because right now he would be on her bench. Those are her starters. What says you guys?
Out of those, I would almost be willing to just sit Devonta Smith and play Judkins. Because you don't know who's getting it in the Eagles' offense every week. I mean, yeah, they looked great last week when they had to, but it could easily go back to the ground and pound. So if anything, I might play both. I might play Tet, Pearsall, Ibuka, and then Judkins. That's probably where I would go.
Coach, what do you got there?
You know, actually, I like that, Tyler. I really do. I think I would go Judkins over Devonta Smith as well. Godwin, I just don't know yet. I need to see what happens there after. I can't play him this week.
Sure. Yeah, no, I agree there. I'm just pulling something up here because, I like to put up, so I make spreadsheets of targets, and I started by only including players that have a game with at least 10 targets. And I just noticed Devonta Smith is not on that list. So he has not had a week with 10 targets yet. 3 in week 1, 6 in week 2, 9 in week 3. So they have gone up week by week, but still, to Tyler's point. So I actually like that call too. I think I'd go Judkins over Devonta Smith. I think that's where I would lean here. So I just feel Devonta Smith feels like a Jameson Williams to me. Like he's going to pop at some point. You're not really sure when, but when he pops, he's going to pop well. So,
I was gonna comp him to George Pickens, but then I realized CD was out, so maybe George has moved up a little bit. But kind of similar boom bust. You're hoping for a touchdown each week. That's really all you're hoping for.
Real quick kicker question from Patrick. Love all the kicker questions this week. Love it. Start Lutz, McManus, or McLaughlin. I'm going McManus this week slightly over McLaughlin. So that's where I would roll. DC coming in here, full point per reception. Choose 3. Adunze at the Raiders, BTJ at San Francisco, Tet at New England, McConkey at the Giants. So we got to choose 3. I'm going Adunze. I am going with McConkey. And I'm going to go BTJ. I'm not seeing the fancy production yet from Tet. I know it's going to piss off Pete. He's going to text me in a minute complaining. But I think Tet would be my odd man out here. Coach, you got something different for me?
I actually think I would play Tet over BTJ right here. The other guys, Adunze, McConkey, and Tet.
Yep. I'm in agreement as well.
Man, this is a hard one. Adunze is clearly the top guy to me.
Yeah. Let me see this. We got another one here.
It's hard.
Pokey Varsity. That sounds important. Puka wide receiver 1, Sutton, Ladd, Myers, and Dobbins need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. I'm going to go Sutton and Ladd, but I will say the opportunities for Dobbins when I was putting that together the other day was a little surprising. I wasn't expecting to see that much, but I would go Sutton and Ladd here. Tyler, what do you got? And then we'll go to you, Coach.
Man, that's tough. So I do want to point out J.K. Dobbins is having a fantastic year so far. If you go, where's my league that I have him in? This is how I keep up with players. I've flipped through all of my leagues. So J.K. Dobbins is currently the running back 13 on the year. He's averaging about 15 points per game, depending on where you look at. So I'm actually going to throw Dobbins in. The question now is, if I do that, do I vulture that with Sutton or do I stick with Ladd? And I'm going to stick with Ladd here. I do like Sutton this coming week, but I don't want to vulture myself. So I'll keep Dobbins and then I'll throw Ladd in there as my wide receiver too.
And Coach, what do you got here?
Yeah, I'm going to go Sutton and Ladd. I do love Dobbins, so I'm with you there. But I don't feel good about starting Sutton and Dobbins necessarily if I'm having to make this decision. So I would go Sutton and Ladd.
All right. We'll get to this next question. If you guys want to jump the line, you can always send in a super chat. G Fazes. There you go. Try doing that. Pollard or Judkins at my flex PPR. I know we've gotten a lot of Judkins talk today, but I mentioned it earlier. I'm going Pollard. I mean, top 5 or 6 in opportunity. The opponent is top 5 or 6 in points allowed to the position. So I'm going to go Tony Pollard here over Judkins. Tyler, you disagree? You got something else for me?
Man, it's tough. I'm a Judkins believer through and through. I was telling Matt and Coach before he even signed, I was like, listen, when he signs, he's the running back 1, regardless. It doesn't matter. They believe in him too much. And I believe in him. His opportunities have only went up. He's still looked explosive. And I think they're going to have to score if they want to keep up with the Lions. So I think the only good thing about the Texans right now is probably their defense. And I know you've kind of highlighted their ability to give up points to the running back position, but I'm just going to go with Judkins. I think I like it a little bit better.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't think it's wild to go Judkins over Pollard. I'm rolling with the opportunity. Dylan Fink comes in here. This is a bit of a long-winded one, I guess, but let's have a day. Full point PPR, 2 different leagues, both 0-3. That's not what you want, Dylan. He needs to win, clearly. So 1 quarterback. So let's kind of break this down. He needs 1 quarterback, obviously. No Terry McLaurin or Tua, who he says is a bum on Monday Night Football. With what I think I go Mariota here, man. I think I go wait. Well, I gotta pull something else up. Tyler, you go ahead and take a look at this.
So
just the quarterback part for now.
My first thing is are these really the only 2 options you have at quarterback? There's nobody else on waivers that you could go get. I mean, that's tough. No offense. I could see why you're 0-3 if that's your quarterback options. With that being the case, though, yeah, I'm probably going to take. I don't want to say Mariota. I just feel
Yeah,
like that's
I
going to go
actually,
bad.
I actually am gonna flip it to Tua,
Yeah,
only because I'm looking at some of the Jets' points allowed here. The quarterbacks, yeah, I'll go Tua here actually, but yeah,
yeah.
it's
I go
close.
with Tua. Like Coach said, I think the Dolphins' offense kind of figures itself out. It'll come to an equilibrium there. So I'll take Tua. They looked good against the Bills last week. So give me Tua. And then the flex question, you've got,
Yep.
let's see, Swift, Worthy, or Jawan Johnson. I tell you right now, I'm not throwing Worthy back out there first week
Nope.
back. Not after that shoulder injury. He hits it wrong one time and done there. So I would actually, if it's full
I'm,
PPR, I would
yeah.
take Jawan Johnson because I don't see DeAndre Swift getting a whole bunch of targets. So I would probably take him there just because he'll PPR his way to a good week. And then Swift would probably have to score for you to be happy with him there.
Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna go Swift slightly over Juwan Johnson though, but I get exactly why you want to go Juwan with the target share and the full point per reception. But I'm gonna go Swift, but I wholeheartedly agree with you on the whole Worthy bit. The other league, he does need a flex. Golden, DeAndre Swift, Chase Brown, or Nick Chubb. So he's got to pick one for the flex. Again, this is obnoxious because if we could rely on Matthew Golden to be targeted early and often, that would be the
Yeah.
slam dunk answer. Given that that's not the case, Tyler, which one of these guys would you go with this week?
I would go with Swift in this one. That's where I would go here. I thought it was funny. I picked against him in the last one, and then he's here in this one. But I know Chase Brown you drafted higher and you had better hopes for him, but right now until that offense looks any semblance of better, I'm taking DeAndre Swift, staying away from that.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually, I know I insulted him, but you know what? This time I actually am going to go Matthew Golden.
Okay.
I am going to go Matthew Golden here finally.
Listen, we got to put him in one lineup.
We
In
got to
one
put him in
lineup, he's
somewhere.
bound to hit.
Right. Yeah, the matchup is just too juicy. Yeah, and I don't trust Chase Brown yet, so I'm gonna go Matthew Golden by a hair over DeAndre Swift. Justin coming in here. Alec, Travis Hunter, or Renfro or Marks PPR. Yeah, this is a gross question. I'm going Hunter Renfro here by just a wee bit over the other guys. I finally sat Travis Hunter in my SFB league. Guys just giving me little to nothing. So Renfro here, and Tyler, you can go, and then we'll get to Coach with his.
Yeah.
What says
I'm actually going to go with Alec Iomanner. I know that Titans offense hasn't looked great, but he's been involved very early on. And while I get it that, Renfro's in there, Travis Hunter, you can't play regardless. I hope Marks gets more going forward. But I don't really want to touch Renfro either. So I would just take Alec and hope for the best. Hope he gets a touchdown or something.
Yeah,
Coach,
it feels like Alec by a lot here to me. Just to be honest, and that's saying more about the other guys than it does Alec. I'm interested to see if the Titans offense looks any different. New play caller this week. Callahan was a dang disaster before the half last week. I don't even know what's going on there. It was really, really bad. So he turns over play calling duties this week, but Alec is he's continued to progress and get more and more volume and opportunity with the Titans. I'm going Alec.
All right. We'll go for another 10, 15 minutes or so, whatever. We'll see what happens. But actually interesting. Skylar Thompson was jumped and robbed in Dublin on Friday night. That's interesting. Whoa. So stay safe out there in Dublin, folks. What do we got here? Next question. Morning, guys. Start 2, Tet, Pickens, Pearsall. I'm going Pearsall and Pickens just because of the opportunity for Pickens with no CD Lamb around. So that would be my quick answer. Coach, I'll go to you, and then Tyler.
Yeah, I think I'm the same too. I expect Pickens' volume to increase. I expect the Cowboys to play better than people think against Green Bay. So I'm thinking Pickens and Pearsall.
Tyler, what do you got?
I'll stick with it just to make it a clean sweep. That obviously means Tet's going to go off this week if that's how that works. But the only reason I have any hesitance, I'm playing Pearsall regardless. The other two kind of a toss up to me. Pickens, the only reason that scares me is that Green Bay matchup. That defense is scary. And it being a Micah, revenge game, I could easily see this offense kind of regressing without CD instead of the target spreading around. That was one thing I pointed out in my video you mentioned earlier with Jake Ferguson. While they get an increase in targets, the overall efficiency is probably going to decrease. So that's my only hesitation there. But I'll take the shot that Pickens gets a bomb touchdown this week. I mean, I don't have him anywhere else. So
sure. Alfredo coming in here with another super chat, $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Alfredo, for everything today. It's actually an interesting question. Is Stephon Diggs droppable for Matthew Golden?
Absolutely.
Diggs, you look at those targets, week 1, 7, week 2, 5, week 3, 3. So he's actually gotten worse where you would expect him to, so to speak, kind of ramp it up, coming back from the injury. You'd expect that to be the reverse. But it's actually going down. Not really sure what's going on there. You know what? I would say yes. I think he is. Better offense, trust the quarterback more currently. But yeah, Coach, what would you go with here?
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's starting to look like Diggs' days are behind him a little bit. He just doesn't look as explosive. He doesn't look like the same guy as he did before. I mean, Diggs is a fine flex option, maybe, but I'd just much rather have the golden upside as the season goes.
Yep, I agree.
Right.
I'm taking Golden there.
Clean sweep. All right. Yeah, we'll go for another 13 minutes. If anybody wants to send in a super chat, feel free to do so. We'll get to them. I know we're bogged down with questions today, but we're going to try and run through a bunch of these. We got Frank coming in here, Frank 17 to be more specific. He says, choose one, please. 1 point per reception. Worthy, Trevion Henderson, or Hunter Henry. Coach, I'm going to go to you first in this one because while you were reloading the old screen there, we got a question about Worthy. I don't think you were in the room yet, and Tyler and I were both very dismissive of him right away. What would you go with here in terms of these three options?
See, I'm not dismissive of Worthy. Like I think they absolutely have to have Worthy to do something to make that offense a little bit more explosive. Like I think Worthy's going to be involved early and often in my opinion. Like the offense really needs some burst, and he's the first opportunity to do so. So I think I'm gonna go. I actually will go Worthy here.
Okay. Tyler, are you still completely out on Worthy?
Yeah. I'm afraid of that injury. Shoulders, especially. I know they'll have a brace on it. They'll try to watch out, but it was friendly fire last time with Travis Kelce. All it takes is somebody to hit him good one time, him land on it wrong, and then he's out for the game. So I'll let him figure out. I do think he is the explosive factor of this offense, but I'll let him sit it out on the bench this week. With that being said, I really don't want to put Hunter Henry in there if I don't have to, but this may be the week. May be the week for him to you put him in there and hope he gets a touchdown. Yeah, I might just go if it's a full point PPR,
which it is.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna put Trevion in there. I'm gonna put him in there.
That's what I was gonna go with too. So
because he's the pass catching back, I think he'll get the targets and hopefully, like I think Coach said earlier, or whichever one of you it was, hopefully they'll see that Ramondre nor Antonio Gibson can hold on to the ball, and they'll just let him play some.
There you go. Michael coming in here says 12-team full point per reception, Pacheco or Woody Marks. Pacheco has been gross, but I'm still gonna go Pacheco here. I like Kareem Hunt the most out of that Chiefs backfield, but I will go Pacheco here.
Yeah. Can I take C? None of the above. Yeah. I would go Pacheco. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, if you could take C for none of the above, I would do that as well.
Yes.
Tyler, do you want to make that a clean sweep?
Sure. Clean sweep at C. None of the above.
There you go. But if you had to, what, you're going to go
I would go
Pacheco?
Pacheco. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Clean sweep. All right. Marvin coming in here. Sup, boys? Which player at flex? Judkins, Debo, or Quentin Johnston? This is actually pretty interesting because I know no Jaden Daniels, but there's no Terry McLaurin either for Debo. Tyler, I'll go to you first on this one.
As much as I love Judkins, I'm going Huge, and it's not even really that close for me. I mean, he's looked great. And who could imagine that we'd be sitting here in week 4 of the NFL season and QJ would be the topic of discussion? We were writing him off, rightfully so. But I'm going QJ here. He's looked like a completely different player this year.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm with you there. QJ, Judkins, Debo. That's my order there.
Yeah, I tried to make a case for Debo, but I really didn't have any heart behind it. Yeah, it's Johnston. Tyler mentioned. I mean, guys, fifth and half point formats right now. So yeah. He also came back in here, Marvin, and he said tight end Kraft or Kincaid. This is a quick answer for me. It's Tucker Kraft.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, no one's making a case for Kincaid there. Even though he does look better than last year, I will say, given that.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bills guy. All right. Good for you. What's up, boys? Got 2 for you. Starting May or Indy Jones? Tyler, let's go with the quarterback question first. Drake May or I feel like we got access already in terms of, but
yeah.
I'm for the back of the room.
I'm going Indiana Jones here.
Yeah,
I want pieces of that offense.
Shit, put that on tape. All right, Coach. Same.
I'm going Daniel Jones, and I'm going DJ Moore.
Okay.
DJ Moore has his biggest day of the year today.
All right.
Which has not been a whole lot. I get it. So
I was going to say, it may not be a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not really a high bar to clear. Tyler,
also,
you going are you going Brown or Moore? You going Moore also?
No, I'm going DJ Moore. Also want to point out, if you played Kenneth Gainwell, I've got him on my screen over here. He did just score a touchdown, by the way. So for all those people asking earlier, Kenneth Gainwell scored.
There we go. All right. And I agree on the DJ Moore front, but the quarterback front, again, we answered this earlier. I got Drake May ranked higher. I'm still going with Drake May against the Panthers. But I will not be stunned if I'm incorrect on that one. But anyway, here we go. Pick 3, Hill, Flowers, BTJ, or Pearsall. This is easy for me. Flowers, BTJ, and Pearsall. I don't care if it's half, full, standard. Is that a clean sweep across the room? Tyreek Hill's the odd man out.
Sweep.
Yeah.
Yep. Clean sweep.
Crazy world we're living in.
Caleb Johnson does have a carry today. He does have a carry in the first
game. There you go. He's on the board.
He beat Trey Sermon out.
He did gain 2 yards.
That's goodness gracious. This is why we shouldn't get too wrapped up into rookies sometimes. Trace tackling. PPR. Flex, pick 1. So Hunter Henry, Matthew Golden, or Troy Franklin. Coach, I'll go to you first on this one. What do you got?
Gosh, man, this is hard too. Troy Franklin came back to earth a little bit, after his big day 2 weeks ago. I think I'm going to go, Matthew Golden, Troy Franklin, Henry in that order.
Yeah. I would probably be the same order. So, Tyler, what says you?
I would do Matthew Golden first, but I'd put Hunter Henry over Troy Franklin instead. So,
okay, that's fine. I don't hate that. And then JNet for life, Worthy, Godwin, Higgins, Swift, pick 2, full point per reception. I know we talked about Godwin earlier, and one or both of you suggested wanting to just kind of wait that out and see how that looks. But if you got to pick 2 here, Tyler, and then I'll go to you, Coach. Tyler, what says you? Got to pick 2.
As much as I hate to do it, it's like I'm standing on I'm not playing Worthy this week. I know he's the explosive factor, not doing it. Godwin, I want to wait. So that leaves me with Higgins and Swift as my two that I'm going to play.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough, right? Higgins has been really disappointing at this point so far this year. A lot of that's that's really not his doing, which normally it's his own doing with injuries and such. That hasn't been the case this year. He's just not getting the ball. The offense has just been that bad. But yeah, I'm with you. It's Higgins and Swift. Swift has been really bad. In my opinion, he has not played well at all. But we said this, and I said this back in the offseason. They've got no one else. So Higgins and Swift.
In this case, I actually would go Worthy and Swift. I would go Worthy over Higgins, even with my concern, much like you, Tyler. But yeah.
Does it matter? Does it matter to you that Chase is going to get the Patrick Surtain treatment, and then you could see some increase in targets to Higgins because of that?
It does. It makes my decision harder. Yes, but I would still go. I would still, knowing that, I would still go Worthy.
Gotcha.
Slightly though. Again, it's not like it's not. It's
not
definitely not obvious. Yeah. Dan coming in here. Dan Junior ACS said, "Good morning, fellas. Half point per reception. Olave or Quentin Johnson?" I'm going to answer this by saying Quentin Johnson quick, and also to let you know, Chris Olave is first in targets entering the week, but he's 32nd in half point scoring. So do that math. So no, I'm going Quentin Johnson. Less targets, but he's doing a lot more with them. Is that a sweep across the room or?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I figured as much. All right. We got about 4 or 5 more minutes, then we're going to get the hell on out of here. But if you have any super chats, feel free to send them in. We'll try and run through some of these questions. Carlos, rank Purdy, May, Fields. I'm going Fields, May, Purdy in terms of my expectations for this week. Coach?
Why so down on Purdy this week?
Not so much down on him. I'm higher on Fields. I think May and Purdy are closer, but I'm just going to go May slightly over Purdy. It's not really hating on Purdy. It's just liking the other two options more, really.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm going to go Purdy, Fields, May.
Okay. Tyler?
Yeah, I'll go with you, Hoff. I'll do the Fields, May, Purdy. I'll go the back way of this.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to admit I just don't like Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan.
Bears fan. That way.
Yeah, that way.
there you go.
I do think all 3 of these guys will be relatively close to one another in terms of points scored. I don't think one's going to like blow the rest of the other guys out of the water. I'll say that. Coach doesn't agree. Ryan coming in here. Coach made a face, so I assume that was a disagreeing face.
It was.
It was okay.
Actually, it was a question that just came in about Cam Ward or Carson Wentz. I was like, I hope you have made this decision already.
Yeah, Jesus. All right. Well, yeah, there is that. Ryan wants to know Pearsall or BTJ half point. I think I know Coach's answer already. I'm going Pearsall.
Yep.
Coach is going Pearsall. Tyler.
Pearsall.
Right here.
Sweep. Let's go here. Let's go to Caleb Hopkins, Tet McMillan, or Ladd McConkey, PPR. So tough. Got Nakua and Meyer starting in the other 2 spots. I don't hate that. I'm going Ladd. Apparently, I hate Tet McMillan this week, and that means he's going to score 30 points and light the world on fire and be on the cover of Madden next year. But no, I'm going to go Ladd McConkey. Coach, what says you, Ladd or Tet PPR?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going Ladd. Not feel good about it. I do like Tet, but yeah, I'm going Ladd.
Tyler?
Yeah, I would go Ladd out of those 2. Now, I'm just curious. Jacoby Myers is the wide receiver 26 on the year, right? Averaging like 10 to 13 points depending on your format. So is there a world where you don't start Myers and you start Tet? Like you start both McConkey and Tet over Myers. Obviously, Puka's in your lineup.
Yeah, there's that world for me.
Yeah, there's that world. I'd probably still go Myers, but it's definitely a conversation worth having.
I just was curious because that kind of, when I've heard the 4 names, I was like, I might play both of them over Jacoby, but it would be close.
Yeah.
You feel like Trey Tucker was a total fluke last week?
I don't want to say total fluke because he's been used as a deep bomb threat like before, but I think the 3 touchdowns was a total fluke. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to continue to be involved in the offense to some respect. I mean, last 2 weeks, 8 targets, 9 targets. But yeah, just the 3 touchdowns won't be a reoccurring theme. Marvin coming in here. We're going to end this show in a little bit, but Marvin wants to know Pickens or Quentin Johnston. He's pairing him with Jamar Chase. I love the opportunity for Pickens, but Johnson has just been playing that damn good. I'm going to go Johnson here. Tyler is agreeing by nodding his head, and Coach is nodding his head as well. We got Jay Boogie coming in with a very creepy picture of a Muppet-looking thing that I don't like at all. I want it off my screen. Baker Mayfield or Marcus Mariota. I'm still going Baker Mayfield. I know it's against the Eagles, but yeah, I'm still going Baker here.
Yep, Baker.
Yeah.
Mariota Revenge Tour, right? I saw that. Somebody tweeted that just a minute ago. Schefter, I think. He's got the Falcons again today.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, I'm sure the Eagles are really, not the Eagles. I'm sure they're really shaking in their boots over a revenge game from a Mariota. Mariota scares me about as much as my nephew does. PPR tight end premium flex high. No, high. He wants help, but high anyway. Njoku. I guess that's versus the Lions or Trey Tucker versus the Bears. Just got a Trey Tucker question, name drop earlier from Tyler. So Tyler, I'll go to you. Njoku versus the Lions or Trey Tucker versus the Bears?
I'm going Njoku.
Tight end premium.
Tight end premium makes my decision, and I think Trey Tucker will still catch balls, but I don't think he'll be nearly as involved as last week. So give me Njoku versus the Lions defense that just gave up. Mark Andrews, that made him look relevant, last week, and he was terrible the first 2. So give me that.
Coach?
Yeah. If this wasn't tight end premium, I think I'd go Trey Tucker because the Bears secondary has really struggled. But since it is, I'm Njoku.
Yeah, I agree with everything Coach just said. But yeah, so Njoku. But let me see this. Oh yeah, that was the Cam Ward Wentz. So yeah, curious what you went with there. Yeah. I mean, you did ask that at 10:03. The game started at 9:30, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's why Coach was like, I hope he made that decision already. Cause
yeah. All right. Yeah. Who do I start this week? Packers D or Texans D? Let's go to the Discord quick and see. And actually, this is a good reason why you should join our Discord, because Pete always has his defensive rankings up in there, and he's got the Green Bay Packers. No, he's got Houston ranked number 1, numero uno.
Yep.
So it looks like he's got the Packers at about 6 or so. So yeah, that's where you go. Are you guys good for about 2 or 3 more minutes? We good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. James Coffee in here. Full point per reception. Would you trade Tyler Warren for Rico Dowdle with Chuba Hubbard's production down a bit? No. God damn it with the Rico Dowdle talk.
Absolutely no, absolutely not.
You could flex Tyler Warren on a given week.
And this is the thing. I know Dowdle got the touchdown last week, which really chapped my ass.
Is this Pete's burner account?
Is this Pete? Yeah, this could be Pete's burner account. But and again, I don't have the passing targets in front of me, so maybe I got to take a look at that. But Hubbard had 16 rush attempts, 10 rush attempts, and 17. So he's not losing rush attempts. He lost the goal line attempt, but maybe he was already dealing with an injury. Perhaps. Who's to say? No, I'm not making that deal. Sorry, James. We came at you a little hot and heavy there, but
it's really not about you, James. It's about
Pete.
It's
not about you,
it's
man.
The question.
It's about Pete. Yeah, it's the question. Another quick kicker question. Brock coming in. If I have Matt Prater, is he worth dropping for Dicker, the kicker, based off your rankings? Yes, he is. Yes, he certainly is. Plus, Tyler Bass will be back soon, and I'd like Cameron Dicker rest of the season as well. So Dicker, the kicker, it is. AI says, or Al says, Superflex. So whatever we answered earlier was Superflex, apparently. Land coming in here. Hey, fellas. FPPR, pick 2. Sutton, Pickens, Olave. so I assume it's a flex PPR. He's got to pick
Full
2.
point.
Yeah. I'm going Sutton and I'm going Pickens here.
Yep.
Yeah. Tyler? Oh, no. You doing Olave? You want that
Yeah,
smoke?
no, I'll take it. Sutton and Pickens is fine. Olave's listen, you just mentioned it. Olave's targets are insane.
Yeah.
It's just they can't do anything with them currently. And if they weren't playing Buffalo, I'd play Olave, but I'll do Sutton and Pickens this week.
And the back end of this question is also interesting. He says, also, am I justified in considering starting Nick Chubb over Chase Brown with his matchup in Tennessee, considering how bad it is in Cincinnati right now? So, yeah, are we at the point, Coach, where we're starting Chubb over Chase Brown?
You're definitely justified in considering it. There's no doubt about that. Like I'll be thinking long and hard about it. I do think I'd probably go ahead and go Chase Brown again. Just because I think he's a better player, better complete player. But I definitely understand your reasoning.
Yeah. Tyler, you in agreement on that one?
Yeah, I agree with Coach on that.
This is another interesting one. We'll pull this one up, guys. We're gonna end the show in a little bit, but just keep firing questions in there, and we'll just end it at some point. I'm not even gonna pronounce that because I don't feel like it. Ted McMillan or Tyreek Hill or Javonte Williams for flex, 0.5 point PPR. This goes down to Ted or Javonte Williams for me. If I'm Coach, you go first on this one. I'm gonna mull this one over for a hot second. I want to look at something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Javonte Williams. One Javonte Williams, Tyreek. There's my order there.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty much where I was going. But yeah, it is close between Ted and Javonte. I would say that.
100%. It is for sure.
Yeah.
Always love to answer these questions. What do we got here? Touchdown. Who? Aaron Rodgers, 80-yard pass to DK Metcalf. Holy smokes! All right,
that's what I was. You saw me looking over. I was like, oh, he just housed that thing. So
there we go. Good time.
Said he had a higher floor earlier when we took him, but his ceiling's pretty high today.
Yeah, that's it. All right, let it ride, baby. Hometown FF advice. Gross here. We hate when these questions start off with gross, but here we are. Start 2, Bill Krosky Merritt, Juwan Johnson, Keon Coleman, or Darnell Mooney. Start 2. I don't think that's that gross, to be honest with you.
No. We've had grosser questions today.
We've had grosser questions about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, you're all right, man. Don't worry about it. Tyler, who are you going with here? You need to start 2. It is PPR.
I'm going Bill and Juwan, and to me, it's not even really that close.
God, you love Juwan Jennings, huh?
I do.
Not Juwan Jennings, Juwan Johnson. Oh, Jesus.
I knew what you meant. Even if it's Jennings, I'd throw him in there too. I just don't believe in the other 2.
Yeah.
Coach.
I agree. No, I don't. I want Bill and Mooney. Give me Bill and Mooney.
I'm gonna go Bill and I'm going Bill and Juwan Johnson. I would love to go Mooney here. But damn it, Penix scared the crap out of me last week. I'm a little skittish. If not for that, I'm riding sidecar with Coach on that one. Let me see this.
Dude, this Vikings Steelers game so far, there's not been one incomplete pass.
Oof.
Vikings are down 14-3 and Wentz is 7 for 7.
Also, by the way, Wentz threw an interception that got called back. Jalen Ramsey housed it too.
Damn. All right. Well, Dublin's getting the show. Good for them. Al coming in, PPR Superflex 3 of Dak, London, McMillan, Jacoby, and Ladd. He's got pick 3.
Okay, well, it's Superflex. You take Dak.
You're taking Dak. Yes, that's clear.
So then really you're picking 2 out of the rest of them.
I'm going Ladd. I know I talked shit about Penix scaring the shit out of me, but I think I'm going to go in Ladd in London here.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going London and McMillan here.
All right. And then obviously you're taking Dak as the QB,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let me see. All right. Just because you said y'all are the best. All right. Well, we'll prove it then. Kyle Singer comes in, full point per reception. Shakir, Godwin, Dobbs, pick 2.
That one's more gross than the earlier question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I am going Shakir here.
Yeah, Shakira.
I'm going Shakira, and I'm going Dobbs here. That's where I'll go. I'm kind of with you guys in the camp, unless you pick differently than me. Then I look like an idiot. But of the kind of waiting to see what we get from Godwin. So yeah, that's why I'd go with these two. Coach.
Yeah, I do think Godwin's probably. I don't know. Maybe going to be more involved initially. I just don't know what's going on with Dobbs, but I'm going to go Shakir and Dobbs. I've said this multiple times. I think Dobbs is actually the best wide receiver that Green Bay has as far as wide receivers go. Most dependable. I'm going to go Shakir and Dobbs.
All right. Let's round this out with 2 more questions, then we'll get the hell on out of here. Grateful one. So you should be grateful that he's one of the last 2 to get a question answered today. Chase Brown or Tony Pollard in PPR. Slam dunk for me if you've been watching the show so far. I'm going with the weekly attempts. I'm going with the points allowed. I'm going with Tony Pollard, and it's not close at all. Tyler?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coach?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll make this sweep. I'll get the broom out.
Attaboy. All right. Quincy Jones coming on in here. Caleb Williams or Pat Mahomes. I'm going Caleb Williams here. I think we're getting another 20-point week. I think it's gonna be 3 out of the first 4 weeks. Caleb Williams delivers 20 fantasy points or more. Yeah.
I want to hear
QB2 so far. QB2 so far, I might add.
Yeah, that ain't bad. So, Coach, I assume you're going with me?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Tyler?
I hate clean sweeps against Mahomes, but I'll do it. I'll go with Caleb just based off the matchup. But I don't feel good about it.
And all right, we'll just sneak this one last in here because he says these videos they've been really helpful, and I'm a guy who can be swayed with some charm. This is Lions or Chargers DST. What did we get here from Lions and who did you say? Chargers? Yeah, Lions are ranked 5th and the Chargers are ranked 7th. That is as per Pete Nova's DST rankings, which we treat like gospel around here because he's good with those suckers. So, yeah, we're going to tell you go with the Detroit Lions. And best of luck. Appreciate the support. Did we get one more super chat?
You got one super chat right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end. Snug it in there, Jay. All right. Well, if anybody else wants to sneak in a super chat, we'll keep staying. Half point per reception. By the way, Jay, it's probably not going to end well for us, but let's go Mets go with your picture. But Jay comes in with a $2 super chat. Half point per reception. Need a flex. Jennings, Tootin, or Parker Washington, who is quietly, doing some things over there in Jacksonville while nobody else is. I'm going to go Jawan Jennings over Parker Washington. Does anybody want to go against the Jennings call or?
Yeah, I'm Jennings too. Parker Washington is interesting. Tootin's a guy that could fall in the end zone. We did that already.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jennings. I'm going Jennings.
Yeah, I'll go Jennings, but I do like the Parker Washington call out. I think he had like 11 targets last week or something crazy. So
yeah,
just keep an eye out because we all wanted it to be Travis Hunter, but if it's Parker Washington, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I feel like the Jaguars offense is eventually going to get going, but for now they just seem to be trying to find a rhythm, and it ain't working right now. So, but I think they'll get there eventually.
It seems like Packers 2.0 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does. But all right, so that's it. No more super chats in. We're going to wrap this puppy up, but we appreciate everybody watching. If you have any questions, fire them into the comments. Also, at the FF Realist on X. You can ask me questions. These guys, you can go to what's it, the FF Mediators? Is that what it is? I always forget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at the FF Mediators, that way one of them will get a hold of it, and then they'll be able to answer you. So you can get that done that way too. But and also join our Discord and ask questions there. We'll help you out. But until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. I'm going to find the end the stream button. We'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers.